The Ten Commandments, 1956. This epic cinematic masterpiece not only magnificently and authentically recreated ancient Egypt but also concealed tragic stories behind the glory of its stars. Behind the iconic scenes lay individuals grappling with pain, loss, and challenges far beyond imagination. Their lives, like a symphony of tragedy, reflected the intensity and hardship of the characters they portrayed on screen. Each chapter of their lives, each fate, contained haunting twists, as if they were part of the very film they helped bring to life. Join us as we uncover the turbulent secrets of these legendary actors and explore how they left an everlasting legacy, even in the face of catastrophic endings. Born on July 11, 1920, in Vladivostok, Russia, Yul Brynner was an icon of cinema, known for his captivating looks, commanding voice, and remarkable ability to embody authoritative characters. His portrayal of Ramesses II in The Ten Commandments, 1956, cemented his name in film history. However, his life was not only a dazzling display on screen but also a tale of turbulence and tragedy in reality. Starting his career on stage, Brynner quickly became a Broadway star with his role as King Mongkut in the musical The King and I, earning a Tony Award. He continued to captivate audiences, winning an Academy Award for Best Actor in 1956. His acting prowess and regal presence led to a string of prominent roles in films such as The Magnificent Seven, Anastasia, and Westworld. Yet, his fierce dedication to his craft came at a great cost to his health and personal happiness. Brynner was married 4 times, with each marriage marked by tension and upheaval. He had 3 children, Rock, Victoria, and Mia. His personal life was also marked by deep loss, including the death of his close friend and co-star Steve McQueen, who succumbed to cancer. This profound grief, combined with the pressures of his career, pushed Brynner into severe physical and emotional crises. A heavy smoker for much of his life, Brynner was diagnosed with lung cancer in the early 1980s. Despite his illness, he continued working and launched an anti-smoking campaign, leaving behind a legacy of awareness. On October 10, 1985, Yul Brynner passed away at the age of 65 in New York City. His death was not only a loss to cinema but also a stark reminder of the value of health and life. Born on April 20, 1924, in Leiden, Netherlands, Nina Foch was renowned for her portrayal of Bethia, Moses' adoptive mother, in The Ten Commandments, 1956. She brought grace and compassion to her roles, leaving an indelible mark not only in film but also in teaching. Foch enjoyed a career spanning over 5 decades, appearing in numerous iconic films and television shows. Beyond acting, she became an acclaimed instructor at the University of Southern California, USC, inspiring generations of young actors. Her performance as Bethia, under Cecil B. DeMille's direction, was a career highlight but also brought immense pressure. Foch experienced 3 marriages, none of which endured, and had 1 son, Dirk, from her 3rd marriage. The breakdown of her relationships left deep emotional scars, leading to bouts of depression. Additionally, she mourned the loss of close friends, such as Montgomery Clift, a gifted actor whose struggles with addiction ended his life prematurely. The passing of Cecil B. DeMille, her mentor and director, added to her sorrow. In her later years, Foch suffered from myelodysplastic syndrome, a rare blood disorder. Despite her health struggles, she faced life with courage and continued her artistic contributions. On December 5, 2008, Nina Foch passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 84, concluding a tumultuous journey as a talented artist who left behind a lasting legacy. Born on December 12, 1893, in Bucharest, Romania, Edward G. Robinson was one of the brightest stars of Hollywood's golden age. His role as the cunning and ambitious Dathan in The Ten Commandments, 1956, showcased his extraordinary talent and left a lasting impression on audiences. Robinson rose to fame with gritty performances in classic film noir titles such as Little Caesar and Key Largo. However, his career took a challenging turn during the McCarthy era, when he was suspected of communist ties. These prolonged investigations cost him many opportunities, leaving lasting scars on his career and reputation, despite being ultimately exonerated. Robinson married Gladys Lloyd in 1927, a union that lasted 29 years before ending in 1956. They had 1 son, Edward Jr., but their relationship was often strained. Edward Jr. struggled under the weight of his father's fame, leading to legal troubles and conflicts with Robinson. In his later years, Robinson endured the pain of estrangement from his son, which became a significant emotional burden. Nevertheless, he remained a devoted artist, admired by his peers. Battling bladder cancer for years, Edward G. Robinson passed away on January 26, 1973, at the age of 79. Despite his family's struggles, his artistic legacy endures, solidifying his status as a Hollywood icon. Charlton Heston, born on October 4, 1923, in Wilmette, Illinois, is a quintessential symbol of American heroism on the big screen. His portrayal of Moses in the Ten Commandments, 1956, cemented his place in cinematic history, making him an icon of epic films. Heston's career spanned over 5 decades, with numerous unforgettable roles. He won an Oscar for his lead role in Ben-Hur, 1959, a film considered the pinnacle of Hollywood's epic genre. Other notable works, including Planet of the Apes, El Cid, and The Greatest Story Ever Told, solidified Heston as one of the greatest actors of all time. Beyond acting, Heston was a prominent figure in politics and culture, particularly through his involvement with the National Rifle Association, NRA, where he sparked controversy but also wielded considerable influence. Heston married Lydia Clark in 1944, and their marriage lasted for over 60 years until his death. They had 2 children, Fraser and Holly, and were considered one of Hollywood's most enduring couples. However, Heston's life was not without tragedy. He was deeply affected by the death of close friend Yul Brynner in 1985. His illustrious career was overshadowed when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease in 2002. The illness not only affected Heston but also caused immense pain for his family and friends as they watched his health and cognition decline. In his final years, Heston lived in confusion and frailty due to Alzheimer's, but he maintained his dignity and courage, continuing to embody the heroic qualities he had portrayed on screen. On April 5, 2008, Heston passed away at the age of 84 in Beverly Hills, succumbing to complications from pneumonia and Alzheimer's. John Derek, born on August 12, 1926, in Hollywood, California, made a significant impact with his role as Joshua in the Ten Commandments, 1956, the loyal companion of Moses. Alongside this iconic role, Derek starred in other notable films like Knock on Any Door and All the King's Men, showcasing his acting talent. Known for his striking good looks, Derek's personal life was turbulent. He married 4 times, but none of his relationships ended peacefully. His most controversial marriage was to Bo Derek in 1976, when she was just 16. The significant age gap and the circumstances surrounding their love sparked intense criticism, straining Derek's relationships with his previous wives. Each divorce left emotional scars on Derek, eventually leading him into isolation. Despite being a talented actor, he struggled with financial difficulties in his later years and faced health issues. John Derek passed away on May 22, 1998, in Santa Maria, California, from heart disease at the age of 71. His life was a roller coaster of artistic brilliance mixed with personal tragedies. Martha Scott, born on September 22, 1912, in Jamesport, Missouri, was a renowned actress known for her ability to convey deep emotion. Her portrayal of Jochebed in the Ten Commandments, 1956, left a lasting impression, as she portrayed a mother full of selflessness, willing to do anything for her son. Off-screen, Martha Scott faced her own personal challenges. She married radio producer Carlton Alsop in 1940 and had a son. However, their marriage ended in 1946 shortly after their child was born. In 1947, she remarried composer Mel Powell, with whom she had 2 daughters. Yet, this second marriage also faced difficulties, leading to tension in their relationship. One of the greatest shocks of her life was the tragic death of her close friend William Holden in 1981. Shortly after, she also lost her dear friend Betty Davis in 1989. These compounded losses made her later years feel even lonelier. Despite financial struggles, Martha Scott lived with gratitude and tranquility. She passed away on May 28, 2003, in Van Nuys, California, at the age of 90. Her legacy lives not only through her unforgettable performances but also as a strong woman who overcame life's many challenges. Vincent Price, born on May 27, 1911, in St. Louis, Missouri, is one of the most unforgettable icons of classic horror films. With his portrayal of the evil Baka in The Ten Commandments, 1956, he showcased his exceptional acting ability, embodying a character full of cold calculation and scheming. Beyond The Ten Commandments, Price became famous for his roles in horror films such as House of Wax and The Pit and the Pendulum. With his deep, warm voice and mysterious presence, he brought to life characters that were both chilling and captivating, leaving a lasting impact on audiences. However, behind the fame and fortune, his life was marked by personal pain and struggles. Vincent Price endured 2 failed marriages, to Edith Barrett and Mary Grant. The deaths of both wives plunged him into a prolonged depression, which took a toll on his emotional and physical health. In addition, Price suffered from rheumatoid arthritis, enduring chronic pain for many years. In his later years, he battled a declining state of health, diagnosed with lung cancer and emphysema. These illnesses not only weakened his body but also caused a stagnation in his career. Vincent Price passed away on October 25, 1993, in Los Angeles at the age of 82. Despite the tragedies in his life, he is remembered as a towering figure in the horror genre, an actor whose ability to convey deep emotion was unrivaled. And Baxter, born on May 7, 1923, in Michigan City, Indiana, is renowned for her portrayal of Nefertiri, the ambitious and seductive Egyptian princess in The Ten Commandments, 1956. Her performance left a profound mark on cinematic history, capturing the passion and power of her character. Baxter was a talented star, winning an Oscar for her role in The Razor's Edge, 1946, and becoming beloved for her role in All About Eve, 1950. However, her personal life was full of turmoil. She married actor John Hodiak in 1946, but their union ended quickly in 1953. In 1960, she remarried Randolph Galt, with whom she lived a more secluded life with 2 daughters. Yet, this marriage also failed, leading to a divorce in 1969. Returning to the U.S., Baxter faced a painful custody battle over her children. And Baxter experienced several personal tragedies, including the heartbreaking death of her co-star in All About Eve, who had been her constant companion throughout her career. The greatest shock came in 1983, when her daughter Katrina died in a car accident. This loss devastated Baxter, leaving her deeply grief-stricken. And Baxter died on December 12, 1985, in New York City from an aneurysm at the age of 62. Her life, filled with ups and downs, is remembered for her intense dedication to the arts and for her unforgettable performances, particularly as the strong yet tragic Nefertiri on screen. Yvonne De Carlo, born on September 1, 1922, in Vancouver, British Columbia, was one of the most prominent actresses of the 20th century. Known for her role as Sephora, Moses's loyal and intelligent wife in The Ten Commandments, 1956, De Carlo portrayed a strong, compassionate and steadfast woman, leaving a lasting emotional impact on audiences. Outside of The Ten Commandments, De Carlo became famous for playing Lily Munster in the television series The Munsters. However, behind the glamour, her life was filled with challenges. In 1955, she married stuntman Robert Morgan, and they had 2 sons. Tragedy struck in 1962 when Robert Morgan was severely injured in a film set accident, leaving him partially disabled. As a result, De Carlo became the family's main breadwinner, taking on lesser roles to support her children and husband. The strain of family responsibilities and the difficulties in their marriage eventually led to their divorce in 1968. De Carlo also faced the pain of losing her close friend and co-star from The Munsters, Fred Gwynne, who passed away in 1993. She shared that his death was a great shock, leaving an irreplaceable void in her life. In her final years, De Carlo's health deteriorated. She battled illness before passing away from heart failure on January 8, 2007, in Los Angeles, at the age of 84. Her legacy endures through her memorable roles, especially her portrayal of Sephora, filled with love and resilience. John Miljan, born on November 9, 1892, in Lead, South Dakota, delivered a poignant and touching performance as the blind man in The Ten Commandments, 1956, portraying a small yet meaningful character in the Exodus story. Miljan was a seasoned actor with a rich career in classic films, including Scarlet Street, 1945, and The Secret of Madame Blanche, 1933. However, his personal life was far from peaceful. He married actress Lois Darling, but their marriage faced numerous challenges, primarily due to Miljan's battle with alcoholism. This addiction not only affected his health but also cast a shadow over his family life. In the final years of his life, Miljan endured particularly difficult times, losing two close friends, Lionel Barrymore and Louis Stone, in quick succession. Their deaths plunged Miljan into deep sorrow, further weakening his spirit. Along with emotional losses, Miljan also faced prolonged financial difficulties. He was diagnosed with terminal cancer, which spread rapidly and could not be treated. John Miljan passed away on January 24, 1960, in Hollywood, at the age of 67. Despite the turbulence of his life, Miljan is remembered as a talented actor who contributed to timeless cinematic stories, with his portrayal of the blind man in The Ten Commandments leaving a lasting emotional impact. Frank Decova, born on March 17, 1910, in New York City, made a powerful impression on audiences through his role as Abram in The Ten Commandments, 1956. His outstanding performance vividly depicted the character of a disillusioned Israelite who dared to challenge Moses' authority. However, Decova's personal life was marked by conflict and unending loneliness. Throughout his career, he was often cast in villainous or tough roles, thanks to his sharp appearance and powerful acting skills. Beyond The Ten Commandments, he also became well known for his role as Chief Wild Eagle in the television series F Troop. However, Decova's career was not without its frustrations. Being typecast in certain roles made it difficult for him to advance further in the entertainment industry. His personal life was equally tumultuous. His one marriage ended in bitterness, leaving him isolated without children to keep him company. Decova was deeply affected by the death of his close friend, actor Edward G. Robinson, whom he considered a spiritual support. Robinson's passing left Decova feeling even more isolated, leading to a state of emotional decline. In his later years, Decova struggled with declining health and the crushing weight of loneliness. He passed away from heart failure on October 15, 1981, in North Hills, California, at the age of 71. He died quietly, alone, leaving behind an artistic legacy that few remember but one that carries a profound emotional weight. Cedric Hardwicke, born on February 19, 1893, in Lye, Worcestershire, England, was one of the distinguished actors of the 20th century. His portrayal of Pharaoh Sethi in The Ten Commandments, 1956, depicted a wise, stern yet compassionate king, showcasing his regal talent and noble presence. Hardwicke had a career spanning over 4 decades, starring in many classic films like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1939, and Suspicion, 1941. However, behind his on-screen brilliance, his personal life was full of trials. Hardwicke married actress Helena Pickard and had a son, Edward Hardwicke, who would later become a famous actor. However, their family life was far from harmonious. His marriage ended in a bitter divorce, and his relationship with his son, who pursued a career in acting against his wishes, created a rift that never fully healed. Hardwicke spent his final years battling emphysema, which gradually weakened his health. Although he continued working until he could no longer do so, he often felt lonely and distant from his family. Cedric Hardwicke passed away on August 6, 1964, in New York City, at the age of 71. He died quietly, leaving behind an extensive artistic legacy, including his portrayal of Pharaoh Sethi, a character whose complexity and authority left a lasting impression. H.B. Warner, born on October 26, 1876, in St. John's Wood, London, was a familiar face in both silent and sound films. His portrayal of Amminadab in The Ten Commandments, 1956, brought to life an elder Israelite, full of wisdom and austerity, symbolizing the struggles and hopes of his people under Moses' leadership. Warner had a vast and remarkable career, starring in iconic films like It's a Wonderful Life, 1946, where he played the haunting role of Dr. Gower, and Alfred Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much. His career spanned decades, from the silent film era to the advent of talkies, demonstrating his extraordinary ability to adapt. Warner's personal life, however, was marked by sorrow. The loss of his first wife, Margaret, plunged him into grief. His second marriage was also troubled, and he faced significant financial pressures, particularly during the Great Depression. In his later years, Warner's health deteriorated, and after a serious fall, he suffered complications that led to his decline. He passed away on December 21, 1958, in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles, California, at the age of 82. His legacy lives on in his memorable performances, from stoic elders to deeply complex characters, leaving a lasting emotional mark on audiences. Francis McDonald, born on August 22, 1891, in Bowling Green, Kentucky, left a lasting impact with his role as Simon in The Ten Commandments, 1956. His character, an elderly Israelite slave, embodies the suffering and longing for freedom during a challenging journey. McDonald was a tireless actor in Hollywood, appearing in over 200 films. Notable roles include The Grapes of Wrath, 1940, where he vividly portrayed the hardships of laborers during the Great Depression. However, McDonald was rarely cast in leading roles, and his name never fully matched his true talent. The sudden loss of his first wife, Mary, due to illness, devastated McDonald. He remarried, but the past's shadows continued to haunt him, leaving his second marriage devoid of true happiness. Furthermore, the death of his close friend, actor Charles Coburn, in 1961 deepened his loneliness. Despite personal struggles and declining health, McDonald continued to work until his final days. He passed away on September 18, 1968, in Hollywood, California, from complications following a heart attack, at the age of 77. His life stands as a testament to perseverance, despite being overshadowed by sorrow and tragedy. Henry Wilcoxon, born on September 8, 1905, in Rizzo, Dominica, was a familiar face in epic historical films. In The Ten Commandments, 1956, he portrayed Pentor, a brave and loyal Egyptian officer who faced every challenge to protect Pharaoh and his country. This role marked a significant moment in his career, cementing his image as a passionate and honorable soldier. Wilcoxon appeared in many classic films like The Charge of the Light Brigade, 1936, and The Crusades, 1935. He also played a key role as a producer and creative consultant on projects for Cecil B. DeMille, including The Ten Commandments. However, beyond the bright lights of cinema, he faced immense personal grief. The tragic death of his first wife plunged Wilcoxon into deep sorrow, and his subsequent relationships failed to bring lasting happiness. The passing of his close friend, filmmaker George Cukor, in 1983, further deepened his loneliness. In his later years, Wilcoxon battled illness. He struggled with cancer and heart complications, which gradually diminished his health. He died on March 6, 1984, in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 78, marking the end of a life that was both illustrious and tumultuous. Donald Curtis, born on February 27, 1915, in Cheney, Washington, was a memorable figure in The Ten Commandments. His portrayal of Meard, the loyal Jewish overseer of Moses, presented a steadfast and committed character amid a chaotic period. Curtis was not only known on the big screen but also made his mark on television, appearing in numerous films and shows. He married actress Margaret and Maggie McKendry, and together they built a happy family with 2 children, Gregory and Amy. Despite a successful career, Curtis faced difficult times, including being relegated to supporting roles in his later years. The loss of his close friend, Jeffrey Hunter, in 1969, was a profound shock, and his sadness lingered in his later years. Donald Curtis passed away on May 22, 1997, in Desert Hot Springs, California, at the age of 82. The cause of death was not disclosed, leaving his family, friends, and fans to mourn his loss. Each of these actors from The Ten Commandments contributed to making the film a timeless classic. However, their personal lives were filled with tragedy and hardship. Whether it was loneliness, the pain of loss, or battles with illness, they left their mark not only through their performances but also through their life stories. Which of these faces do you remember the most? Don't forget to leave a comment and share your thoughts. And if you enjoy behind-the-scenes stories, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any new videos.